All right, guys. So today I started reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've never read this book before. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it did not start the way I expected. So it actually starts, the first chapter is called Inside Out. And I like the way that he sets everything up, because he talks about how he spent some time looking at success. He took some time looking at the literature about success across 200, give or take, years of American history from the founding in 1776. And he started to notice something, that there was a difference in the way that it was perceived, something around the time of World War I, where there was a shift in the way things were done. So prior to World War I, everything was focused on character ethics, on developing your personal character that would produce the outward success. And then for some reason after World War I, there was this big shift to what he called personality ethic, which was where our culture shifted its mindset around being the flamboyant character, or taking a certain action and having less of a character-based success level, which proved to have some success. And part of the tricky part of it is actually that a lot of the things that are taught in the personality success are factors that help you move forward, but without that basic foundation of a quality character, you end up left wanting, so to speak. So things like a positive mental attitude, right? Positive mental attitude is amazing and is very, very necessary. But if you have a positive mental attitude about finding your way around Chicago, when the map you have of Chicago is actually a map of Detroit that was just labeled Chicago, you're going to get very frustrated very quickly. And if you have a positive mental attitude, you may be okay with that or be happy about it, but you won't reach your goal because you have the wrong map, and that the map is your character, and having that right foundation of your character being on point, then you can start to add principles, and you develop your character around principles that lead to success. And principles never change. Okay, and this is what's interesting, is principle is a value. A principle is a truth in reality, and a principle will never change. Now, the activities you take in order to act out those principles, or the decisions you make in order to follow through in living out as a principle-based person may change. So your activities may change over time because the situations and circumstances change. However, the principles are always going to be the same. And the way you know a principle is because if you apply a principle in your personal life, your business life, your spiritual life, your public life, and your private life, and you can apply that principle in all areas, then you have a principle. If you have something that you can only apply in one area, or maybe only a select few areas, then it's not really a principle or a law, if you will. Then it might just be a technique, and techniques come and go, they change. And so the problem is in this personality ethic era, that people were teaching a lot of techniques, but without that foundation of character, it was kind of for naught. And this is why you tend to see a lot of organizations that have a 5 to 10% success rate, is because they're teaching techniques, and only 5 to 10% of the people they're teaching techniques to have principle and character. Now, when you have an organization that teaches character and character development, then you have something very, very amazing and rare. Because again, most only teach the activity, the technique, and not the character. Then he also talked about something very interesting that I've been trying to understand at a deeper level. And that's the idea of a paradigm shift. And that's the concept of his book apparently is based around paradigm shifting, to personally develop from the inside out. And what that means is when you take a paradigm shift, that's when you change the way you view something. And sometimes this happens over a long period of time. And sometimes this can be done very, very quickly. He used an example of a gentleman who walked onto an airplane with him, and his kids were rambunctious and messing with stuff. And this guy just looked like he was a horrible father, wasn't intervening, wasn't doing anything to help. And so finally he's like, you know what, I'm gonna tell this guy, hey, can you take care of your kids? Because they're really starting to annoy everyone on the plane. And his response was, oh, of course, I should probably do something. I'm sorry, we just left the hospital. Their mom died an hour ago. And he said instantly his mind completely shifted to that of compassion instead of having the mindset of irritation. And so he instant paradigm shift, because now he understood the situation on a different level. And so now he could have patience and understanding and caring and wanting to help instead of being agitated and irritated. And so what needed to happen was a paradigm shift internally allowed him to fully shift in a moment. And I think that this is one of the reasons that Tony Robbins is phenomenal, is he helps people have a paradigm shift quickly instead of taking a year to make a paradigm shift or to fully grasp it. Now, some paradigm shifts are going to take more time and intentionality to develop. And he talked in the book, walking through that, him and his wife, about his son and his athletics and education, having to shift their paradigm about how they viewed their son in order for his son to actually blossom properly. And so I'm really excited about this book. Did not start the way I expected it, but definitely some great nuggets, even just in that opening introductory chapter. So next up is going to be the Enthusiasm Makes a Difference, and I will read that and get back to you shortly. Bloop. All right, so back with the Enthusiasm Makes a Difference chapter. The chapter today is about how enthusiasm gives you power under difficulties. And this is something that I've been thinking a lot about recently, especially as we talk about habits and environment and culture and situations that we live in. And having enthusiasm gives you the ability, the power to take on some situations that may be a hindrance to others. And if you apply that enthusiasm, that overcoming can-do positive mental attitude, and just know that hey, I have peace because I know that whatever happens, it's in his hands. But I'm going to be excited about life while I'm here, and I'm going to keep moving forward. Gives you great power towards achieving your goals, because it in some respects allows you to find that silver lining and a way to apply it, right? In the book, he shared a story of a gentleman who had been an alcoholic, had lost everything, and once he found enthusiasm for life, enthusiasm for his religion, everything changed. He had been freed of his alcoholism. He then acquired a bit of cancer, and he defeated what could have been a very defeating moment, and could have easily slipped back into his use of alcohol to overcome things, but he didn't, because he had that enthusiastic drive for his faith, for his religion, for his purpose on earth, allowed him to overcome and in some ways become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because his character was in alignment, and he knew what he was doing. And so that enthusiasm can give you power when you otherwise might be defeated or be powerless. So developing your enthusiasm gives you that extra boost that sometimes is needed to overcome a situation or a problem. So I really love this book. We're coming to a close on it, and I will be wrapping this one up in a couple of days. So we got a few more days in this book, and today, if you'll notice, I'm in a parking lot again. I've a good friend who's having a procedure done at the hospital today, so I will be getting my workout in a little bit later and uploading that video. And so I hope you all have a phenomenal day. Condense the pain, get it, stay accountable. Let's get this.